I have a little summary here from a Sportsnet article. First topic, LTIR, everyone's favorite. First off, Elliot Friedman apparently said that the GM who first brought this up at the meetings was Ken Holland,
The irony.
the GM of the Edmonton Oilers.
Isn't he the one who signed Henrik Zetterberg and Pavel Datsuk to those contracts that ended up being traded to?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. ran a team that was a dynasty before the salary cap came in.
Just wanted to double check.
Yes, yeah, that is the same Ken Holland. Yes. And who can't work the cap right now to save his life, and has to make the playoffs or may lose 2 MVP caliber players, including the best player in the world. But let's ignore that. And the other guy is right now second in goal scoring, fighting for his second goal scoring title ever, by the way. But they won one round, by the way.
Yeah.
They sound pretty good.
Yeah. So anyway, Bettman said LTIR was discussed with the GMs, but quote, nobody thinks it's been abused. That's it. Let's just.
What?
I want to put a disclaimer out there. Because a lot of the stuff we're going to read, if it comes from Gary Bettman, I wouldn't take it too seriously. Because he says that nobody has any problems with officiating, but Kyle Dubas sort of proved that was wrong the moment he talked to the media.
No, not according to Damon Cox.
Wasn't aggressive enough.
Goodness gracious. By the way, sweet note. So how I want to say it's Davidson, Hughes, Alvin, and who is in Anaheim, Verbeek. It was their first GM meetings, right? But they gave Hughes, because he's like the first time executive GM, they gave him the rookie treatment of talking to the media first. And the guy to say, it's up to you, was Dubas. He was like, that's neat. And he was like, Dubas is like, God, he's so young. It's ridiculous. Like 36. Anyway.
Yeah.
Apparently, nobody thinks it's been abused. The concern stems from teams over the years appearing to have abused LTR in order to save cap space during the season and have those same players appear in the playoffs. And of course, Tampa Bay and all that. Bettman said that the system has worked for 17 years, and after discussing it with the NHLPA, it's not a front burner issue that's going to be addressed anytime soon. Some other reports have said that it's an open dialogue right now. And I think some GMs, I think Treliving has also sort of echoed this. I don't know if it's the party line. And maybe it's a recency bias because of what happened with Tampa. And maybe because people weren't complaining too much when Chicago did it with Kane. Is that 2011?
It was 2013. That was the chemo. That's when they got Kimmo Timonen and Anton Vermette.
Yes. So, I don't think they're wrong that it's a recency bias thing, and let's be honest, if COVID didn't happen and the cap wasn't shredded right now, we're probably not talking about it. But I think, Alex, one of your favorite lines is, if there was a better cap system, then we wouldn't have to abuse LTIR.
Yeah.
Cap.
But like, don't you find it funny that the GMs who use the LTIR system to their advantage are perfectly fine with this? Like, I don't know. It was just, I saw a little bit of outrage. I'm like, but why? Like, this should be, it's the same as like when the 32 GMs are like, well, I mean, like it's a fast game, how are the refs supposed to catch everything? Like, yeah, of course that's what they're going to say. They're part of the problem. Like,
I love it's like, it's not a problem, but it's being discussed at one of the biggest executive meetings of the year.
Yeah. But like, yeah, no, I mean, I think you guys would agree if they had a soft cap. I wonder if we're having a different conversation, or if we're having this conversation at all.
The only conversation I've seen about pay in the NBA was Skip Bayless complaining that Kobe Bryant was making too much money. And since then, I've never really seen it complained about. Maybe since over Pascal Siakam, because I think correct me if I'm wrong, doesn't he have a max deal?
I believe so, but
which is
right, Daniel? He got the max.
Does. Yeah, I think that's also too, like, also in like basketball as well, it's basketball, baseball as well, right? Like, there's the luxury tax, something I always will advocate for in a soft cap era, if that ever happened to the NHL. But it was more of like, they weren't really, I think in that situation, you weren't really looking at, oh, look how much money we're giving this guy, is overpaid. It's like free agency becomes more of like an arms race If I
What
like,
it should be.
if I'm being like quite honest, I think that you still have like that quote unquote overpayment on July 1st when it's a regular non-COVID schedule,
Mhm.
but it's nothing like how the other leagues are. Where like if you look at baseball right now, they just got out of the lockout, and the amount of money they're throwing at guys, and not just the big markets, like the Colorado Rockies, which is supposed to be a rebuilding team, gave Chris Bryant over like $200 million.
It's insane.
I know nothing about baseball, but that threw me for a loop.
This is the one thing I know about baseball is like the NHL, it has a horrible commissioner that no one likes, and it also hates disciplining players properly. Remember the Dodgers?
And it's media. Remember Ken Rosenthal?
Yeah.